Whoever told you college is easier than high school is a liar. Hey guys, it's Bree, and today I'm going to be giving you the hard truth about your first year of college and tips on how to survive. I'm about to go into my second year of college, and somehow I managed to survive my first year, even though it definitely was not easy. Everyone who tells you college is the best time of your life might be a liar. Or maybe you get lucky and it actually is the best time of your life. But for me, that wasn't really the case. So here I am telling you tips on how to survive your freshman year of college. Hopefully you guys enjoy. The first thing to know is that your grades are definitely not going to be the same as they were in high school. Maybe it's because I went to a pretty good college for academic-wise, but my grades definitely dropped my first year of college. And I don't think there's much I could have done to change that. I was pretty much a straight A student in high school, and all of a sudden I got to college and all my grades were horrible. Well, almost all my grades were horrible, and I thought I was doing something wrong, but I just don't think that was the case. I was studying more than I ever had, but for some reason, every time the test came around, I just didn't do well. They were even multiple choice tests, so I didn't know what I was doing wrong. So my first tip would definitely be put academics first. But at the same time, don't push yourself to be excellent, because that might not happen no matter how hard you try. College is a big adjustment, so your grades are probably not going to be as great as they were in high school. And don't beat yourself up for that, because really, is college. It's meant to be hard. When you get a bad test, ask the professors what you could do better on your next one. Attend study tables. That's something I didn't do. There were study tables every time there was a quiz or a test, and I always assumed I'll be fine, I don't need to go, and then I wouldn't do well. So if your school offers study tables for those classes you struggle in, definitely attend those. Make sure you're reading all of your assignments. In high school, I never really had to read the textbooks or read the assigned literature books, and I still did fine on all the tests because I paid attention in class. But something I found during college is if I read the assigned readings before class, I'd understand what we were talking about more during the class, and that would help my overall understanding of the concept. But then I realized rereading the notes and highlighting and rewriting the notes may help me understand it even further before the quiz and the tests. Obviously, another big part of college is your roommates. I had 2 roommates, and they both sucked, I'm gonna be honest. I did not like either of my roommates. One of them was a complete mess. Her part of the room was, it looked like a tornado went through her corner of the room. It was horrible. But every time we would talk to her about it, she'd clean up a little bit, and then it'd go back to being a mess. So, you're gonna have messy roommates. You are. And you're just gonna have to deal with it, because if you talk to them and they don't clean up their mess, you just kind of have to deal with it unless you find someone else and transfer rooms, which is a lot of work, but some cases it could be worth it. My second roommate, she was kind of what movies depicted as a college girl. She spent all her time partying, she was getting drunk, and she would be bringing a guy over, even though she has a boyfriend off campus, and she'd bring a guy over and they'd sleep in our room even though it was against our contract. And eventually she slept through all of her classes and she dropped out of the school because her grades were so bad. So roommates aren't always at what they cracked up to be. We were pretty good friends for the first couple of months until she started going crazy. And so because of that, I didn't really make a whole lot of friends. I thought I was going to hang out with her and our small group of friends, but then our group kind of just disbanded, and I was left with no friends by November. And the rest of the year I didn't hang out with people because I didn't make friends. And that's another thing. Don't expect to make best friends your first year of college. Most kids, they find a group of people that they like enough that they force themselves to be friends with them, even though they don't have much in common. Really, most people make friends their second year, third year, fourth year because you're more focused on your degree. So you're hanging out with more people because you have more classes with them because you all have the same degree. So don't be too stressed if you don't make a lot of friends your first year. I didn't. I ate by myself every day in the cafeteria, but you know what? I did it. And when you eat by yourself, you realize how many other people eat by themselves too. I was honestly so stressed about eating by myself for the first time, but then I realized it's totally normal. Other people eat by themselves too. And so, the more the year went on, I got used to not having any friends. A mistake I made my first year of college was not joining any clubs. Honestly, my school offered so many different groups that I could have joined, but I just didn't. Instead, I was going home nearly every weekend. And so, maybe that's why I didn't make many friends, because I didn't really put myself out there. For me, college really was, I went to class, I ate food, I did my homework, I went to sleep. And it was just that cycle. Nothing broke up that cycle. So, joining clubs is honestly such a benefit. You make friends with common interests because you're not going to join a club you have no interest in. By joining a club, you make friends with mutual interests and you find people to hang out with. You break that cycle. And maybe that's something I'm going to try for next year. I'm not sure yet, but if you don't join a club, you might not make friends. And even if you do make friends, who knows if you'll even be friends with them next year because you'll be hanging out more with people in your major. One thing I learned by the second half of the year is to get out of your room. I know it's really tempting to study and do your homework within the confines of your dorm room, but I honestly enjoyed studying other places so much more. I would go to the Hall of Science, which has these big glass windows and plants everywhere, and it was such a nice environment to study in. Or there's the library, which everyone studies in, so honestly, I tried to avoid that as much as possible, because normally all the tables would be taken by 6 o'clock at night. Or if it's nice, study outside. Honestly, you get vitamin D, which, I mean, I'm deficient in it because I'm pale as heck, and it's nice to have the cool breeze, or if it's warm out, oh, it's so nice to study outside when it's warm out. Just grab a blanket, grab your laptop, grab your books, whatever you need, and go lay out in the lawn and study. So many people do it. Or just sit on a bench outside. My school has tons of benches, and so I loved sitting outside and reading. It was so much better than sitting inside your stuffy dorm room that has this weird odor that you can't quite determine the source of, but it's just there, and no matter how much Febreze you use, it's still there. That doesn't happen outside. It smells nice outside. So definitely try studying outside your dorm room. And when you do that, you might meet more people too. Because if you're in your dorm room, it's just you and your roommates, maybe your friends. If you're outside, people are walking by. You might say hi to someone you see in your class. It's just so much better to study outside your room versus inside your small dorm room. Get a job. So many people don't realize how expensive college gets, and so the first year of college, they don't have a job because they're not thinking about how much college is costing them. You're just enjoying your first year of college. So me, I had a work study. I worked in the cafeteria, which wasn't the best job, but it's still paid, and it wasn't horrible. And I'm working there again this year, so it's nice because when you have a work study, they're really accommodating for your class hours. My boss was able to schedule me around my classes, and I got to choose my shifts, choose where I worked, and honestly, it's so much better. And yeah, there's a limit to how many hours you can work a week. I work 10 hours a week, which is about $1,000 or $2,000 a year. And if I needed to, I could get a job off campus. But at the same time, with studying and with my work study and with classes, it'd be hard to find time to have a job off campus. Even though my campus is small and I have a car, so it's not hard to get off campus. But getting off campus to find a job is a lot more work than getting a work study. So if your school has a work study program, I definitely recommend using it, because you're not thinking about your college loan you're going to have to pay in 3-4 years after you graduate. You're thinking about your classes and passing that upcoming final, or writing that term paper that you should have started 3 weeks ago. If you're still struggling with your grades, I definitely recommend talking to your professors. They're all so nice. All of my professors have been so nice, and I don't use the opportunity that I have to talk to them during their office hours. And that's something I really should start doing, because they're all so accommodating and they're willing to talk you through whatever material you don't understand, or give you tips on how to study for their specific tests, because every professor has tests differently. I've had tests that are almost all multiple choice. I've had tests that are completely short answer. I've had tests where it's just 2 long essays and that's the whole test. And so there's different strategies to studying different classes, and definitely talk to your professors to determine which strategy you need to use to excel in that class. Along the same lines, don't be afraid to talk to your RA. They are so helpful. Any problem you have, they'll have a solution. And if they don't have a solution, they know who to talk to find that solution. RAs are there to help you through college, and even if it's something stupid, like you're stressed out because you don't know which building your class is in, they'll be willing to help you find that building and find your classroom, so that when class time comes, you're not stressed out about it. And I cannot emphasize how much stress I had during the entire school year. If I had talked to my RA about some of the problems I had through the year, whether it's my grades or my roommates or whatever, I would have been way less stressed the entire year. And honestly, stress can really determine your college experience. When you stress about your grades, that's what you stress about. The more you stress about them, the worse they're going to get, because you're just stressing about them so much. So if you learn to take life as it comes, your college experience will be 100% better versus worrying about every single little thing. Obviously, not everyone's college experience is going to be the same. My first year of college is not going to be like everyone's first year of college. And just because I didn't like my roommates doesn't mean you won't like your roommates. And so even though I'm giving these tips to help you through college, they might not even help you, because everyone has a different experience. So find a way to adapt to whatever your experience. Talk to your RAs, talk to your professors, because even if you can't find a solution to your problem online, even if you can't find a solution to your problem online, talking it through with someone will make it even better. And even talking with your parents, and even just talking about it out loud, will help even you've come up with a solution yourself. You don't necessarily need someone else to find the solution. Sometimes you just have to talk it through before you understand what you need to do. And honestly, enjoy it, because even though I didn't have that great of a time my first year of college, it's still great to know I was independent. I was able to find the solutions to problems myself versus relying on my parents. And it really is a great step in your life as you go into bigger and better things and become an adult. Ooh! So enjoy it, because college only happens once. So that's the end of the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe if you're new. Leave a comment below and I'll try to read through all of them. Actually, I'll definitely read through all of them, because there won't be that many. Bye!